I'm Brittany.
And I'm Mackenzie.
And this is Geekery TV.
The channel where we talk about the stuff that we geek out about.
Tonight, we're going to talk about our special Redbox Roulette.
Ooh.
It should have a theme song.
It should have
Redbox Roulette. Redbox Roulette. Yeah.
Ding.
Okay. Anyway, so it's basically where we pick out movies that maybe no one is ever going to watch, except for us.
Because we're those kind of people. And I went by myself this time because it was my one day off work and you were at work. And I got 2 movies, one of which I promptly fell asleep during.
It was a steaming pile of crap.
I think I lasted like 45 minutes.
Basically,
of this
that
film.
movie had vampire Viking witches. It made no sense. The acting was awful, and we're not even going to tell you the name. It was that bad.
There was lots of rape.
Yeah, it was really rapey.
Really rapey.
Wait, I have notes.
Oh, we do have notes on that one.
There were 2 rapes, 2 lesbian hookups, and 1 regular sex scene.
That's all that needs.
A lot of rape in that movie.
That's all that needs to be said about that film.
It was just bad.
Real bad.
So we're not going to talk about that one,
no.
even though we kind of have.
Sorry.
Actually, what we're going to talk about is a British film called The Expelled.
It's about a teacher and kids that are in the building because he kept some for detention. Some are doing like extracurricular activities, and this teacher is like deathly afraid that something is going to happen in the school, like somebody's going to come and shoot it up.
He's super paranoid because of headlines in England that said, they showed his like bureau full of all these newspaper clippings of kids coming in and shooting teachers and shooting other students, and so he's super paranoid and an alcoholic.
Ting!
So much fun!
And he's separated from his wife, and his daughter is one of his students.
And she's a raging bitch face.
Smack her.
Hit her again.
Constantly.
All the time.
Like, so rude. Blatantly rude. Like, makes out with her boyfriend in front of her dad. Rude.
I am 31 years old. I won't even do that.
I'm 23. But we also came from a house where you didn't even, like, hold hands in front of your parents.
There's a respect factor. And that is one of the things I wrote down is like the respect of all students is lacking. Like none of those students respect anybody else. They're just a bunch of privileged little shits. Like most teenagers.
Yeah, and it's a private school too.
Is it? No.
No?
It's public school.
Is it public?
Yeah. Just because they wear uniforms doesn't mean it's private.
I'm American. Sorry.
That happens in America too.
Don't?
You've been out of school a really long time.
I have been out of school a really long time. I'm sorry. Anyways. So we hit a conflict right off the bat because he isn't a crackpot right away.
No.
He verbally abuses?
No, he told that student, hey, your paper sucks, you did a bad job, and you should work harder. And this kid hauled off and punched him in the face.
And I'm not defending the child at all. I believe that the teacher should have, like, totally smacked back.
No, if only he could.
If only he could. But he, like, apparently you're not supposed to use A, B, C, D's, or F's in this school.
Yeah, it's like pass or fail, and
that's all it is.
It's like a bunch of crap.
It's what they say RAS is the abbreviation for research equivalent something. Basically, you failed.
How can you even remotely grade on a curve or find out who's doing the best in your class if
you don't grade them?
It's stupid.
Stupid. So he gave this kid an F, like, on the paper, and that was the
big red
F. And the paper, you see it, is, like, just red. He just, like, scribbles out the
He's an English teacher, so he's always going to mark people's stuff wrong. You can't put an apostrophe where parentheses are supposed to be and hope for the best. She's no good at this.
I'm no good at English. I suck at grammar. I suck at spelling. She's awful at math. And I can do advanced algebra in my brain.
I can add, subtract, multiply, and divide. But don't throw any letters in, because that's the Satan's handiwork. I don't think so. Letters stay with the English papers. Numbers stay with the crap that I don't want to ever have to take again.
And I'm the total opposite. I love math. I taught advanced mathematics.
I didn't write officially any of your papers in high school.
The way this would work was I would write everything down and leave it on our bar in our house, and she would read it and grade it for me.
I would have a big red pen.
She sat there for hours by the end of high school. She's the only reason I passed English.
And I didn't live in the same state during part of that time.
I would email her papers, and she would email me
the corrections.
The most corrections I've ever seen in my life. I don't understand why there's a colon in,
anything?
In English. Because it's in math, too.
But, no. This is not what we're supposed to be talking about.
Sorry. See? Ranting. We apologize.
Okay, so basically, the teacher gets in trouble. Flash forward 11 months.
Yeah, because they wouldn't let him come back to school
until the kid was
graduated. So.
And the kid didn't get in trouble.
No,
he assaulted somebody. He freaking knocked that teacher out.
Broke his nose, blood gushing everywhere.
That kid got 0 detentions. He did not get in trouble, and his parents were all up in arms the teacher did it.
Because he gave him an F.
The kid deserved an F.
He deserved the F.
He sucked.
Anyway, so flash forward 11 months. He's separated from his wife.
He's a booze hound.
We see him wake up and he automatically starts drinking some Jameson. You're drunk.
The breakfast of champions.
In Ireland. But yeah, wakes up and starts drinking, and that's when you see all these clippings of stuff that is happening in schools over there, and we come to find out later that he calls the police station a lot.
He hates teenagers.
He hates them.
I don't disagree with him because I kind of hate them sometimes too. Just the snotty ones, just the bad ones,
just the rude ones.
He calls about people using his trash can instead of their trash can.
People parking in his spot.
Whatever, that's his thing.
That's what you do, is what you do. But, so, he goes to school. He's back at the school where he teaches his daughter, and it's the same school. But we learn right off the bat there are constant problems. He has to drink a whole bottle of Jameson before he can step foot into the school.
He's terrified. He's a man who's afraid.
Of everything. He's afraid of anything that could possibly happen in this building. So we learned that right off the bat. We learned that him and his wife still, even though they're separated, are on great terms.
They have a lovely relationship. They're so nice to each other.
They love each other. But he obviously is really fucked up.
He's a...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm telling Mom.
No, Mom's
she's gonna watch this.
Grandma, I'm sorry. Oh, God.
Oh, you're in trouble.
I'm so gonna get a phone call. I'm sorry.
He's a broken man. He's broken.
Real broken.
He's afraid of life, and he has no way to sort of get past that incident that happened.
And we learned very quickly that he and his daughter's relationship is in the tubes.
She is awful.
I just want somebody to spank her. I was spanked as a child. I'm perfectly fine.
Spank her. Spank her.
Spank
you know what?
her with a belt.
The last time I was spanked, I was 18 years old. I am 5'11". My mother is 5'2". She had to make me lay over the back of the couch
to spank her.
And I still did it. Because I'm afraid of her.
Fear goes a long way. Just saying.
That was creepy.
Our mother came out of our mouth. I'm sorry. Anyways, she totally
she's bad.
She's bad.
She's bad girl.
He has to keep her in detention to spend time with her.
It's sad.
It's so sad. This is shot on a Friday, assuming.
Well, yeah, because they say I'll see you on Monday.
So it's shot on a Friday. The next weekend is her 16th birthday. And it's his weekend. Because even though they're still together, they're alternating weekends.
But she doesn't
want to go see him. She wants to go to a concert.
In London.
I
don't blame her. London is my favorite city in the whole world.
But this is the kicker. No parental supervision.
Europeans have a different...
I don't care.
they just...
I don't
They're different.
care.
Europeans tend to let their kids, they're used to public transit. No. They travel in between countries. I went to Europe. I went to Europe at 15. Mom and Dad let me go.
But you went with school, and there were
kinda.
adults. I mean, Madame is Madame. She's a little drunk. Let's go. But we love her.
But you know, it's nothing to go from London to Paris in 3 hours on the Channel. You just jump on the train and go. Yes, it's awesome.
Okay,
It's
I say
amazing.
that, but I went to the Bahamas.
Exactly. You went on a cruise ship.
I went on a cruise ship. With
You just went to Panama last year.
I did. It was amazing. I loved it.
Anyway, that has nothing to do with
The movie.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so she doesn't want to spend time with her dad. There's this whole like tiff in the English room where like somebody throws something. He blames it on her
Just so he can put
just
her in
so he
detention.
can put her in detention for 3 hours.
It's the longest, craziest detention I've ever seen.
And it is real dark at 6 o'clock. We see a clock on the wall.
Yeah.
It's like midnight, dark.
It's so dark. There's like the principal, 2 security guards, the librarian, the teacher,
and the janitor.
a janitor, and a shop teacher.
That's it.
That's there's like the receptionist is working out in the school gym.
Yeah.
There are a couple kids who are doing extracurriculars, and that's about it. Like the school's pretty deserted.
Pretty dead.
And then all of a sudden, a band of rogue teenagers
Who were like-
have no faces.
No, there are 2 in black hoodies and 2 in gray hoodies.
And the hoodies are pulled up.
Up to here.
And you can't, I know, do you like this? And it's like this. You can't see
Nothing.
face. Like, they just start terrorizing the school. One of the security guards, they lock him in a dumpster.
And set him on fire. Alive.
Alive.
They wait till he wakes up.
Well, yeah, wouldn't you?
Like, they bashed him in the back of the head.
Right. Then they covered him in, like,
Lighter fluid.
yeah.
But they waited for his ass to wake up.
Then they
like squirted the lighter fluid in and threw the thing, the
threw
holder,
matches.
and a box of matches in.
And so he roasts.
Heroes. That's the first
On an
kill.
open fire.
First kill. By the way,
Yeah.
this is a horror film.
Oh, yeah.
We forgot to tell you that.
We're probably always going to talk about horror films.
I tried.
We'll put in parentheses, not horror, if it's not
If it's not a horror, I got 3 films, 2 random horror films, and then Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters.
That's okay. We're not going to... It's cool. It was good. It was heartwarming. It was an adventure movie, and it was funny. But anyway, we're not talking about that one. We're talking about The Expelled.
So they light this guy on fire. And then they get into the building. By the way, that was one of the security guards.
Yeah, I said
We said that?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to keep track of the kills for you.
I've got them in order.
Oh, I have them tallied. That's how many kills are in this film. I
I've
have
got
to
them
tally.
written in order.
Oh, that's why your notes are so long.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they light him on fire. And then they go in the school.
But they go through sort of like the shop area.
Yeah.
And the shop teacher hears them, but he never sees them.
He only hears them because they turn on his radio in the other room.
Right, and so he starts yelling like, "You little shits, get out of here!" Well, he's saying it in a British accent, so he's like, "Oh, you little shits, get out of here!"
That's right, we do accents too. And so he like closes the room he's in, locks, basically like quarantines himself.
It's like a garage door to the outside.
Yeah, so he shuts that, goes and turns off the radio and just continues to sweep. And then you see them run by in the background, but they're like ninjas.
They are like, what does I call them?
Parkour geniuses.
They're like parkour champs, like the quietest ninja teenagers in the world.
Converse.
Yeah, they're in sneakers.
Like, those that wear Converse know
They
they
are-
clap when you walk.
Well, that's only because yours are too big.
I love them. They're like a size big. I'm a freak. I'm sorry.
So then they go into the teacher's like, you know, Mr. Anderson, who's like the drunk teacher. He's not like Mr.
Anderson.
But he's like, hey, I think someone's in the school, because his daughter gets all shitty and he smacks her in the face, which he should have done to
She
begin with.
deserved it. She was
should have
getting
got that
mouthy.
when she was a child. Wouldn't have this issue.
Right? Spanker.
Right? So anyway, he goes to the security guard and he's like, hey, I think there's something going on.
There's some kids in the school.
Yeah, there's some kids in the school. Someone threw a milkshake at me.
And in the milkshake,
It says, it says,
you
you are dead.
How did they do this?
I don't know, because he looked away for 2 seconds. It was like, boom, milkshake.
You are dead. In the milkshake, spelt like facing him, not like somebody wrote it on the outside of the window. No. They were proactive.
These little ninja
parkour geniuses.
Bastards are amazing.
They're brilliant.
They're terrifying. But awesome. So then they go into the library, and he runs in and he's like, "Get out of the library, Miss Librarian."
We don't know her name. We learn very few names.
He's just like, "Get out of the library. There's some kids in here. I'm going to call the cops."
And she was like, "You're overreacting. Like, do you want to stay in here while I finish?"
And then these little monkeys start crawling on the stacks.
Like the shelving units?
That's what they're called. We're super geeks, remember? So they're crawling on the stacks, and they're like, shh,
like,
shh. And then they're jumping off and making no noise.
And then the kicker, they tear apart books and throw the pages.
I thought I was gonna have a heart attack.
She freaked.
I audibly gasped. I went like that.
She was like, "Just grab the pages. You can glue them back in."
That's the scariest part of the movie for me.
Right? It's terrifying.
Don't mess up the books.
Don't mess up books. So then they just started chucking books. And so
the poor librarian.
So what does the librarian do? Hello. Sorry, we're just over here organizing your books.
Sorry, I just wanted to, check out this book. No. Don't talk to the killer.
Run the opposite way from the noise.
Never talk to a killer. Even if you don't know it's a killer. If you think that maybe it's not someone you know, you should just
run. Do not go towards the noise or the door that opened by itself. Leave that crap open and go somewhere. Go visit a friend for a couple hours.
Get a latte.
I don't care. Go to the library.
Don't go to the library.
It's slightly.
She died.
Yeah.
She dies. She gets beaten to death
with a tire iron
and a book. And then hung from the rafters,
like the top of a light.
Yeah.
So all you see when Kate, is that her name?
That's the daughter.
Kate's the daughter. She runs after getting smacked like she deserved. And she runs through the library, which everybody that is a geek and loves the library like we do knows it's terrifying at night.
Libraries are so scary.
You turn off the lights, and it's
but they scare me.
They're very. The stacks are tall.
They're quiet.
You can't see.
It's like too quiet, and the stacks are really high, and there are shadows everywhere
because of the
book. I love a library, but I could not stay in one overnight. I mean, I'm just. Plus, they won't let me because most of them.
She's kicked out of, and her library card has been cut up.
I have had my library card cut up just once, thank you very much, but I'm not allowed to have one in my county, my city, the city I used to live in, the city I went to college in, the county I went to college in, the county I used to live in when I did summer stock theater, the city I lived in when I did summer stock theater.
She used my name
the New York City Library and Dayton Metro Library.
She used my name once, so now I can't have a library card.
I want to adopt the books. That's my problem.
That's the problem. She doesn't take them back.
And love them. And I had my library card cut up by the librarians. They came to my house when I was
for the books.
5 years old. 5. What? They cut up my library card. I have not been able to have a...
She's on the banned list.
I know.
Who knew libraries had a banned list?
I did.
She's like... Most wanted
posters, yeah.
This is like most wanted number
this
1.
This has nothing to do with the movie.
She just pinched me. I'm getting abused.
It's fine.
Anyways, okay. So she dies.
Yeah, the librarian dies. Probably because she gave someone too many overdue fees. Just saying.
They didn't bring back the books. They deserved it. But anyway, so Kate runs through the library, and all you see is like dripping blood on top of a stack.
It's terrible.
It's so sad. And there's like papers from a book in her hair.
No.
It's terrifying and sad. Anyways, okay.
Okay, so then it's the receptionist. She dies. She is working out in like the gym. She's on the treadmill. She's working on her fitness. She looks good.
Like
whatever. So then she goes into the locker room to get changed. She checks her phone.
No.
Yeah.
You missed the basketball.
Oh.
The creepy security guard.
The one alive.
He
feels awful rapey.
Yeah,
he
like
off, I'm gonna
insta-rape.
Yeah.
But she hears a basketball drop in like the main auditorium. Gymnasium. Ooh, see, I told you I'm bad at English.
You're an athlete.
I know, I should know that, right? I'm sorry.
That's
I'm sorry. In the gymnasium, a basketball drops. Nobody's in there. So what does she do?
Hello.
She goes and picks it up and starts dribbling down the court.
She makes a shot.
With one light on. Again, terrifying.
Nope.
So then the creepy janitor, security guard is behind her and is like, "Man, we gotta go."
But he says it like this. Hey, so what are you doing in here? And she's like, put a basketball away, leave me alone. And he's like, so Mr. Anderson said there's kids running around the school.
You really shouldn't be alone.
You shouldn't be alone right now.
Rapey?
No!
Rapey!
So
she's like, okay, bye. And goes
bye.
Deuces. And goes in the girls' locker room to like change.
Get a shower.
And get a shower and get
her phone. As she's checking her phone,
the
one of those little
hooligans.
freaking ninjas falls from the ceiling.
How did you get in the ceiling?
I don't know, but I mean, I watched a show where a lady was living in the ceiling, but that's a different show altogether.
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
In a hospital. But anyway, she was pretending to be a nurse. But she was a really good nurse.
Anyways!
She was homeless. It was sad.
That's
anyway.
So crazy.
No, she was a good nurse. And it was a true story. It was real stories in the ER.
Stop that! Stop it! Keep going!
So, she gets hit. Boom!
With a tire iron.
One of those kids, that's his favorite thing.
Yeah, and one of the kids has like an X-Acto knife.
Yeah. One of them has a monkey wrench.
One of them has a monkey wrench, one has the tire iron, one has an X-Acto knife, and one has a box cutter.
There's only one box cutter. I think the other one just uses his like full-on hands.
Well, we find out that he also uses other things that are around. But they cut this woman up.
Like this much of her is gone. They just take all the skin and it's just like ligaments and muscle and teeth and gums. That's it.
And then
it's terrible.
Because you see her later. She didn't die right away.
I know. She should have died, but she doesn't.
She doesn't. But like when you see her, she's like gashes. I'm pointing to ribs that you can't see. I'm sorry.
They cut
her up. When they say, "Bitch, I'm gonna cut you,"
they cut her.
They cut her.
They cut her hardcore.
Like lots.
Okay, so then it's the principal, and she doesn't believe Mr. Anderson. He finally gets a hold of the cops. She's like, "Oh, you hit your kid," and he's like, "Whatever.
She deserved it."
She was like, "Go home," and he's like, "Fine, I will." So he goes out to his car. He's not in the building.
He sees them.
He sees the kids. He goes back in the building to talk to the principal. Boom! Principal's dead.
How did she die?
Fire extinguisher to the face.
That's right. They totally just like took it and bashed it into her head.
And then the kid with the X-Acto knife was like, shoom, 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 shoom,
down
shoom,
her
shoom,
face. So when they find her, it's like concaved and just like an accordion.
Concaved?
Concaved?
Concaved.
Concaved. I'm awful right now.
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
So the daughter calls her boyfriend to come pick her up. And then he gets so
we find him. He gets
taken by the hooligans as well.
But they take him into the shop area where the guy is still like sweeping for 3 hours.
And there's a janitor like buffing floors
in like the lunchroom, I assume.
Somewhere
around there. Anyways, so boyfriend gets taken and wrapped in barbed wire.
Oh, it's awesome. And at the same time, the security guard is running around the school trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Because he can't get a hold of the principal.
Right. The phones have gone dead.
Mm-hmm.
The teacher is trying to find his daughter because he's like, there's something up.
Shit's going down.
And there are security cameras all over the school, but if no one's there to watch them, does anything get taped?
There is no point in having them.
Not at all.
And the security guard's calling up his friend Bill, because that is his name.
Dead Bill.
Dead
dumpster Bill.
Dead crackling fire Bill.
Yeah, it's
sad. And he can't get a hold. There. And so he's like running through, and finally...
Well, no,
Oh, what's
so we find the boyfriend in the shop classroom. The shop teacher starts looking because the daughter is like, there's someone in the school. They're trying to kill us.
And then there's like this random hallway, kind of, in the shop room where like, I'm assuming tools are behind them.
Yeah,
they're like safety.
There were like different big tools.
There's like safety plastic curtains,
like the stuff that goes over like meat locker doors.
Yeah, if you work in a restaurant, those flaps that are in and out of your coolers.
Yep.
But they're not see-through, they're black.
Yeah, that was strange.
You know, if you work in a restaurant, they're a pain in the ass, right? Can I get an amen?
I'm not.
She don't work in one. Sorry.
I'm not.
It's okay. Amen.
So anyway, the teacher starts going through them
with a 2x4.
And what's great is you see the kids moving behind him, in between them, and he's not even touching the plastic.
No,
it's amazing.
It's crazy. So they finally catch him he opens the curtain and finds the boyfriend in the barbed wire.
So then they clock him in the head.
And he falls, and what I think happened, because you don't see, all you see is his feet kick.
You don't really see any of the deaths, which is kind of nice.
Rapey?
Creepy?
Crazy creepy.
Delicious.
Creepy. I'm so sorry, guys. This is awful.
This is like the longest video in the world.
It's so long. I'm sorry. We keep ranting.
No, it's kind of cool to not see them die. Personally, I kind of like it because I get so desensitized to all of that, like you're dead. Like, no, it's kind of nice to not see it and let your imagination do the work.
My imagination is creepy and nobody should be in there. I want to see it.
So it looks like he gets electrocuted.
I think he gets killed by some tools.
I think he got electrocuted because you saw like sparks behind him.
But I was basically raised in a garage. That could be from the safety guards on certain machines.
I don't know. I think you're supposed to use your imagination on that one.
Tell us what you think. Comment below.
I'm going with electrocution.
I'm going with tools.
Okay, so then the cops finally show up, a man and a woman. The woman cop is almost instantly killed.
Like,
she walks up like 12 steps.
One of the parkour ninjas jumps down.
And he just like shoves her ass. And she's a big lady. I don't know how she died instantly.
But her head started bleeding. Brittany thought it was hair.
She had dark hair.
But it was in a bun, and on this side, like, you see it ooze out.
Yeah.
Like the blood, not the hair.
So
she died.
She's dead.
And then the other cop finds the security guard in the basement.
And they start like,
like, parkour ninja. So they run into the one door that's opened.
Bad idea.
They run into, and they kill the cop. How did the cop die?
You know what? I have a question mark.
Because we don't see it.
We have no idea.
We only hear it.
We just know he's dead.
We just know he's dead.
That's all that we need to know.
And then the security guard is surrounded by these 4 parkour ninja killers. It's a great name. That's what the movie should be called. And he's just like, please don't.
He's like, no. Please. He turns into Oliver all of a sudden. He's like,
please, sir, I don't want to die. So the one with the X-Acto knife is just like, stab.
Yeah, and it's like,
he dies.
In the
basement.
Tracheotomy, and he's dead.
In the basement, in this creepy, like, I think it's part of like the newspaper. Because there's newspaper clippings.
Yeah.
And it's red, like the exposure lamps.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
So then the father finally finds his daughter. Finally. And she is terrified, and they're having a sweet reunion. You're like,
that should be done outside.
No time for that, bitch. So then one of the killers shows up.
And kills her.
No,
she gets stabbed.
In the tummy. He's like, freaks out. The dad freaks out. He grabs a knife, it wasn't even a knife, it was like an envelope opener. Our grandma has a really fancy one that looks like a steak knife.
It's so pretty.
It's so nice. But he grabs one of those and he just like goes to town, like just nailing this kid, just stabbing him in the same spot
over and over, like 40 times.
He stabbed the hell out of this kid. He is not getting up. So then he picks up his daughter
and
runs outside, and the daughter sees her mom's car. The principal had called her mom, and she's like, "No, Dad,
you can't. If you leave her, I will never forgive you.
Like, don't take me to the hospital, Dad. Please, you have to go get Mom. It's Mom's car." And he's like,
I need to get you, but you'll die. If you don't go in for her, I will never love you again.
He does not
go
care.
for her. He totally
dumps his daughter in the backseat of the car, shuts the fucking freaking door,
Sorry, Grandma.
And
drives to the hospital.
And as he drives off,
we see a flash.
See one of the guys in like the reflection of the window, just standing
in
and
front.
We still have never seen their faces.
He's standing in front of the car, and he let them go.
And
it's
that was the end of the movie.
No. We see a flashback inside to the mom.
Oh yeah,
we don't know if she dies. We don't know if she lives. I'm gonna assume she died
because she was in the school, and basically,
if you're in the school, you die. Like you hit your car, you're safe.
Yeah. That's it.
But that's it.
And that's how the movie ended. And it wasn't very long.
It was like an hour and a half.
Yeah, and I liked it.
I would own this.
I liked it. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a cool concept because it was kind of like, you know, it was an interesting take on the whole, like, home invasion type movie.
But it was like a school with multiple buildings.
Right, the school was massive. Huge. It was a complex.
They have a school very similar to this in Florida. Like the way that it's set up. I know this because my friend when Liz went to school in Florida. I got pictures of the school. This is how my mind works.
It just looked like the Clueless school to me. Oh, but that's showing my age.
Or that, you know.
I'm an old lady.
I love Clueless.
Yeah. It was, I liked it. I don't know if I would own it necessarily, but I would definitely rent it again. And I want people to see it. So if you have seen The Expelled, let us know.
What you thought? Comment below.
Subscribe.
It's right here.
Comment, share, like, all of that crap.
I liked it. I would own this.
I liked it. I thought it was smart, and I kind of loved that the guy who was a mess, totally broken mess in real life,
saved the day.
He was like the anti-hero. Like, you didn't want to like him, but at the end of the day you did, because he did everything he could in his power to save his child's life.
What did you say during it? Oh. To overly prepared. I don't know, she said. Never mind. If I think of it, I'll just randomly spout it out in a video like, this is what she said. And you'll be like, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Mackenzie.
Brittany.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night.